Afternoon all, how are we doing? Sorry, I'm a bit late. Doing stuff. How are we doing? Morning, ST. Afternoon, even. Yotko, Steve, David. Evil, Virginia, Gav, Momo, Al. Afternoon. Baggy, Monkey, Crom, Emac. How are we all doing? All good. Excited about the news from Japan. I hope they press the button soon. So just quickly covering the news before everything opens. Afternoon, Evan, or morning, wherever you are. We had the CPI for the pound this morning, came out at 4%. So the pound weakened off the back of this number this morning, which is expected. We've got Bailey speaking in half an hour. So there is potential for this move on the pound to get a lot stronger this afternoon. There's also potential for him to rally the pound back up and do the opposite to what we got this morning. So we'll have to watch what happens there. We've got also Bullock speaking later on today, but this is going to be quite an important one this afternoon because tomorrow we've also got the GDP figure, which is expected to put us into recession. So he could well be pretty bearish today. We'll see what happens, but that's coming out at 3 o'clock, half an hour after the New York Open. So that's the only news we've really got today. Then at the swap, we got Bullock speaking, and then obviously the Aussie unemployment tomorrow morning. So I'm not here tomorrow. I'm not here Friday. Back on Monday. So just be aware, obviously, of what news we've got coming up. There's quite a bit coming up tomorrow. It's a very busy day actually tomorrow. And then we've got retail for the pound and PPI on Friday, as well as Michigan. So going to be a busy end of week. Afternoon, everybody else. Dougal, Adria, it's time. Gregors. What EA should be better to operate in a prop firm account? One that makes a profit. Can't answer that question. The EA that you put on the account that when you start it, falls in line with whatever market movement is going to do and therefore turns a profit so that you get funded. That's the best EA to use. Unless you've got a time machine and you can read the future, I have no clue. Neither of you. So just stick one on there, take some trades and hope it falls in line with what you want. No answer to that question, basically, hence the sarcasm. Afternoon, AZ. How you doing? Right, so news this morning, not a lot else really today. We've had talking heads all morning, but no real impact news. ECB saying that they're going to hit the 2% target. We know that you will hit the 2% target, otherwise you'll be in trouble. But yes, there's nothing exciting. So the main news this morning was obviously the CPI figure, and the main news overnight was exactly what I said yesterday afternoon. If you go and watch this morning's live room, I started with a bit of a joke this morning because like I said yesterday afternoon, I wouldn't be surprised if this morning when I come on air, we will find Suzuki saying that they are not happy with the exchange rates and they're going to threaten an intervention. And we had Suzuki saying that. We also had Kanda saying that as well, and we had another one as well, I think. Did we not? Was it only two of them? But basically prepared to take action on Forex at any time, 24 hours a year. I think he means day. Similar to a natural disaster. This is how bad they think this US dollar yen move is. Similar to a natural disaster. We will basically press the button and destroy you all if you do not stop selling the yen. So this morning, we've stopped selling the yen, funnily enough. But they have got their finger well and truly over that button, ready to press the button. So be prepared at any time if this US dollar continues to rally against the yen. They will intervene and you will be 600 ADR to the downside. So do not press the buy button on the yen unless you have a death wish. So I have two aggressive drawdown controls on US dollar yen. I have one on from the swap overnight, and I have a pending underneath today's low, which I've put on this morning. So if we do break today's low and we come down and retest this level, I'm going to have a very nice big position on and I'm going to take some profit and do some DD control. So I'm hoping the US this afternoon has a bit of a downturn, and we get a bit of a rally coming through on the yen. The pound has obviously rallied. The pound has obviously dropped dramatically, which has helped my US dollar yen out. So I've taken some off and done some drawdown control with that one. But all the pounds basically have dropped today. We're getting a little bit of pullback on some, but not convincing. So looks like a good drop on the pound, and it may well continue. So this morning's DAX was a clean break. I didn't trade the FTSE this morning because we'd had all the movement before the open. We actually pushed up to just over 125 ADR. We pushed up into yesterday's high and rejected this morning. But I traded the DAX this morning, clean break up to pretty much 2R, pulled back, stopped out in the second half. I got out just before my 2R target. If I hadn't have, I would have hit 5R today, but mind. So yeah, nice clean break on the DAX. Whether you took a manual exit or whether you took an automated exit, the DAX just flew today, so easy money this morning. US indices, so far today, slightly bullish, on our way up towards ADR, but a long way away. So it's a fairly vibrant session for Globex. We've had fairly decent movement there. We'll see where we go at the open, but there's plenty of room to the upside and the downside today. More upside than down, I have to say. So it'd be nice if it breaks long like that. So long the Dow, long the S&P so far. So we'll see where we go at the open. Afternoon, yeah, I called the yen sentiment correctly yesterday. Yep. I literally said, I replayed this morning in the live room this morning. I started the stream off by replaying yesterday afternoon stream. And then in part of that stream, I say there's a 50-50 shot I'll come on tomorrow morning and we'll be saying the Japanese are moaning about this and they're going to intervene. And behold, it's always the way, always the way. That 150 level is just not sustainable. They cannot operate above 150. It just doesn't work for the Japanese. So they have to do something. And normally the market listens. Sometimes it doesn't, though. When it doesn't listen, that's when we get hit. So either way, just don't go long. Basically, if you're using the market reversal alerts EA, I would set all yen pairs to short only, just in case. Because if you get long and they do an intervention move, you're going to find yourself 600 to 800 ADR in the hole, which isn't going to be fun. Right, NASDAQ, no trade on the NASDAQ pre-market today. Range was just too small to get the pre-market on this today. Could have done with pushing up a little bit more. But the 5-minute ORB will be taken, assuming it doesn't go crazy. So I'll be getting on the 5-minute ORB with the NASDAQ. Dow and S&P were off long, so we'll wait and see. We'll have a look at all the FX pairs in a minute as well. Afternoon, Rico. I passed a funded account trading 1-hour RSI extensions in line with a higher time frame trend. Good job, risking 0.2 per position with stop loss at 0.65 ADR. Bit of an odd number to pick, but number's a number, I guess. It's hard to get your 5% drawdown. It won't be if the market pushes against you. Prop is all about conditions when you press the button. Yeah, I've said it many, many times. You start an evaluation on Monday, you start an evaluation on Wednesday, you will get completely different results out of each of those evaluations because whether you pass or fail is up to the market, not you. So some days you'll have, or some weeks you'll have fantastic results. Other weeks you'll blow the account. There's nothing you can do about it. Pulling back, rejecting the longs at the minute. Really rejecting the longs. See where we go. We've got 2 minutes left. US dollar's probably it's not too bad. Quite a bit of volatility coming in at the open on FX as well. Got to be aware of that news at 3 o'clock. We've got to watch the pound pairs. Afternoon, Brian. On your new server setup, do you have a fixed IP for remote access? No, because it's on my home network, isn't it? I don't need one. Hedged on the Dow. So if the server is on your home network, you just use the name of the PC. So in my case, on my home network, that machine is called Trading PC. So I just RDP into the Trading PC. If it's a remote server on a remote network, you need an IP address, but you don't need an IP on a local network, do you? But it's obviously got an IP, but it doesn't need a web IP because it's sitting on my own router. Afternoon, Kennelly. When not at home, well, I am at home. Thanks for subscribing, Sam. I won't need to access it from anywhere but here. If I'm away accessing it, I access it on my phone or on my laptop. I'm logging into the MT4 terminal. I've absolutely no need to log into the server at all. That server's just sitting there running stuff. Right, so the 5-minute opening range is in. NASDAQ 5-minute ORB is there. Looks like we're going short, which is not good because that means it's strong US dollar. I do not want a strong US dollar today. I want a weak US dollar. Doesn't appear to be too much happening on the US. Short the NASDAQ. So this is going to be a hideous hedge today. So hedge on the Dow. I'm going to hedge on the S&P as well, by the looks of things, because the NASDAQ's trying to go short. So that will also hedge. That will be a clean break. So let's hope we go short. So Dow Jones, upside target is impossible. ADR, basically. Upside target, that's 5R. It's either going to come and retest that level. We could also retest that, or that. So I'm just going to leave it at ADR today. There's many legs we could hit to the upside. So it's going short there at the moment. So downside target of 5R is here. That makes absolutely no sense either. So I'm going to lower session's too close. So I think I'm going to go with ADR to the downside. That's more than 5R, but there's absolutely no reason for it just to turn tail in the middle of that move. So 5R to the down, well, just shy of ADR to the downside, just shy of yesterday's low, and I'm going to leave ADR to the upside there. God, this is going to be one of those days where it's just going to hedge that, and then that's going to turn tail and hedge that. We're just going to be sitting in a triple hedge, aren't we? These markets at the minute, literally, it's as if they've turned the tap off. Yeah, there hasn't been a clean break, a proper clean break in the US, I don't think, for a good couple of weeks. It's just no volume. There's no momentum. There's just not doing anything, are they? It's awful. Absolutely awful. Now I know what all those stagnation periods in the back tests are like when you're trading in real life. Frustrating as hell. What can you do? Afternoon, Amy. Liked and subbed. And NP, brother. Good man. Don't forget to hit those thumbs. Don't be a bum. Smack that thumb. If I don't ask, I don't get. Swiss needs to go stronger. It certainly does. We have got some power in the Swissy today. So we got a reversal across all the Swiss pairs. So it's starting to show signs of coming back to life a little bit. at the moment. That chart's broken. So when you're ready. So yeah, we are starting to show signs of life in the Swissy, although it's not very convincing at the moment. So it's getting there, but not quite fast enough for my liking. Want to see some more strength come through in that Swiss. Knew it. Hedged on the S&P. Right, you better break short NASDAQ, otherwise there's going to be trouble. Same for S&P. I'm just going to target ADR. The downside. Upside is beyond ADR, so I'm just going to... That's that 5,000 level, isn't it? We're going to target the big round number to the upside. I don't think we're going to need it, to be honest. By the way this is coming down today, it looks like this is going to be a dive. Got 3 wicks to the upside on the S&P. They've been rejecting, pushing higher and higher and higher and getting rejected every single time. This is very seller heavy market today. So NASDAQ short. I'm going to move TP2 down to those lows as well. So hopefully get one clean break on the NASDAQ. These two are both hedges. If they're going short, I'm going to target the lows at ADR. Not a lot we can do with that this morning, is there? Anywho, I'm not complaining. I've been taking the opposite trade to the ORB breakout. Cool. For remote connection to a private PC, there are tons of options. I know there are. I've been working in IT for 20 years. I just don't need to. Just don't need it. I could put up. I mean, if I needed to, I'd probably just stick TeamViewer on it. It's the easiest thing to do, but just don't need it. I realise why you recommend to start with 3 to 5k. Try a demo with 1k and 3% drawdown on a pair. Happens way too fast. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, basically, I don't recommend you start with 3 to 5k for any other reason than what the hell's the point in starting with anything less? Do you want to make money or do you just want to do this for fun? If you want to do it for fun, there's way more things you can do with 3 to 5k that are fun. Yeah, you're never going to earn a living with 3 to 5k. So, you know, this is I've said it from day one in the bootcamp. If you haven't got capital, go and work at McDonald's. I've never said that in the bootcamp. I say it in here all the time, but it's a job, needs money. It's a business. If you want to do it for fun, that's no problem. But this is the wrong sort of strategy to use for fun. This is you want to be trading, you know, doing this sort of thing, making 10% in a day because it's fun. Not position trading. Just not the right sort of thing for... There's a lot of hobbyist traders out there. There's a couple that have come in here, and there's a couple that live in Forex Factory and have lived there since I've been on Forex Factory, which is over a decade. I see the same old faces in there, talking in all the forums, not making any money, ever, never have done, never will do. They just do it because they like it. It's fun. They like it every now and again. It's like gambling. You get a bit of a buzz every now and again when you find a strategy that works for a little bit, and then it fails, and you go and find another one. There's a lot of people doing that, and you can do that with a couple of $100. But if you want to do this properly, you need some serious capital, don't you? Otherwise, you're unless you're going to compound an account, which is what I'm attempting to do with this thing. I got margin called this morning, funnily enough. Again. Another margin call. So I had a margin call yesterday, another margin call yesterday morning. So far I've been running this account for 2 days and I've had 3 margin calls in 2 days. This account was up 19% this morning. Then I got margin called. Oh, it's bloody ridiculous. Compounding. Whoever thought they could actually make compounding work? Anyway, we will carry on. I'm going to leave it running on a full autopilot tomorrow because I'm not here tomorrow and Friday. I'm going to leave it running on full autopilot. I've reduced risk down to 5%. And I'll come back on Monday and we'll see if it's actually done it. Anyway, we'll see. Haven't traded all month, waiting for my funds to land. Cool. For example, if I have like 5 million capital, is that too big? Nope. Is there any point that the capital can be too big for your EA? Oh, no. If you've got 5 million, what the hell are you doing this for? If I had 1 million, I wouldn't be sitting here. Christ, I'd be sitting on a beach. This is the thing that everybody wants to do. I want to earn enough money to get a Lamborghini. Right. So if you want a Lamborghini, you need what? A couple of $100,000? So if you need a couple of $100,000, you're going to need a couple of million to generate that couple of $100,000. Yeah? If you've got a couple of million, you don't need to trade, do you? Just buy a Lamborghini. The whole concept of these people that stand in front of Lamborghinis trying to sell trading courses is flawed. If they can afford a Lamborghini, they wouldn't be selling a bloody trading course. If you've got enough money to own a Lamborghini, you don't need to trade. Look at Greg Secker. Never traded a day in his life. He sells courses. That's why he's got a Rolls Royce, multiple houses, jet, boat, and holiday homes. He sells courses. Yeah. Why would you need to trade if you've got that much money? It's nuts. It's just a self-defeating thing, isn't it? But in theory, yeah, you could trade any amount of money. I mean, basically, this is why we work on percentage return. Yeah. So this number here, 4.6%, is profit on your account. So if you've got a $100 account, it's 4.5% of $100. If you've got a 100 million account, it's 4.5% of 100 million. It's the same thing. This is why we work on percentage return. It's called alpha. That's it. That's all you're looking for, is a percentage return on your investment, isn't it? So you start with whatever money you want. The problem you will have is finding a broker that you can put that money into with any leverage that you could actually position trade with. Because if you've got $250,000 or $1 million, you've got to stick the whole lot in a broker. And that broker has to be overseas, which means you are not protected. So that $1 million that you put overseas could disappear any second. So there's probably a limit in that respect. And if you stick it in a regulated broker in your country, you're only going to get 1 to 30 leverage. You can't position trade with 1 to 30 leverage. Unless you were using, so what you'd have to do if you had $1 million to stick in your broker, well, mind you only covered for 85K. So yeah, there you go. There's your answer. 85,000. That's the maximum you can position trade with. Because that's all that you will be covered by the, in the UK, for the Financial Conduct Authority. Anything over 85K, if your broker goes bust, you lose it. So I guess that's the answer, isn't it? 85. Unless you want to risk it, but yeah. Afternoon, Franco. Morning. Sounds like a rough morning. No, it's not so far. It's a double hedge and potentially a triple hedge, depending if this runs up. But so far, price action's not particularly fun. Am I trying to compound or double an account in a week? Not necessarily in a week, just trying to compound it. But, you know, to compound an account in the way that you really want to compound an account, you need to be doing it within a week or two to make enough money to trade with, basically, which is the kind of this is what this is about. But I'm struggling with margin just because I picked the wrong days, basically. But yeah, that's the idea, is just to double the account. If I hadn't been margin called yesterday and today, this would be sitting on about 65% now. Every single trade that I've taken on every single instrument has played out absolutely spot on and perfect. It's just got margin called. So there you go. There's a short exit. That would have been 10%. There's a short from there, which second entry would have taken here. So that would have been a short exit. So that would have been 20% on the US dollar Swiss, on the Aussie dollar Swiss. Aussie dollar yen, that trade worked. It would have been more, but it got margin called again. So this one here, look, I got margin called. So what did they do? Shut the position. Missed target. Yes, it closed out with a profit, but it closed out with tiny. So that was 5%. We're up to, 25% on two pairs. Aussie New Zealand, that one worked out. That was a 5%. That's 30. There was a long, so there was a long there, which closed out on the margin call. That position would have been taken down there, and that would have been 10%, 35%. See what I mean? The problem is not the strategy. The strategy is pretty much almost doubled the account. The problem is margin. So this is what people don't get. Everything on paper looks great. Trying to do it in real life doesn't work. But, this is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Got an opportunity for 38% today. But that yesterday was sitting in, what were we up to yesterday? Over 10% yesterday, margin called twice, -10. Up 20% this morning, margin called, went -6. I've closed out some and pulled it back to 3.5%. And I got that running. But it's just, I couldn't get margin called. So what I've done basically is I've dropped the risk by 50%. And I'm going to leave it running on that. So hopefully it will have enough margin to work. So we'll see. We will see. With your 5 million, you can be making like, what, 250K a month or even more? Yeah, you could do, yeah. Well, I mean, that's 5%, isn't it? So 5% easily. I mean, if someone gave me 5 million, I could make 5% without even batting an eyelid. But where are you going to put the money? Where are you going to put it? The thing to do with 5 million, if you want to put 5 million in, the thing to do is to set up 28 accounts with 5 different brokers. Yeah, and put 100K in each with 30-to-1 leverage and just trade one instrument on each account. Then what you can do, obviously, is you're diversifying your risk across multiple brokers. You're diversifying your risk across multiple accounts. And you've got 85K of your 100K safeguarded by the Financial Conduct Authority. That way you are protected. So that if you had that much money, that is how you would spread the investment. That's the only way you could do it, really. And then obviously you'd have to treat every account as a individual trade, basically, and treat all of your accounts as one portfolio. So that's the way to do it. Any updates on the new EA? Yeah, this is live testing here. So it's all working. It's got aggressive drawdown control mode working now. So yeah, it's all pretty much there. I haven't had a chance to work on it today. I've still got a long list of stuff I want it to do. So this is now going into aggressive mode. So it will basically take aggressive entries, get you out of the positions. But there's still, I still might introduce auto DD control on it. I haven't quite decided on that part yet. But yeah, it's all working exactly as I want it to at the moment. So it's doing good. But I just haven't had a chance to work on it today. So I have worked on it today, actually, but I haven't done as much as I wanted to. Hear me out. The concept is worth a shot on a 1 to 1,000 broker. What compounding? Yeah. I'm not disputing the concept. The concept works. I've done it. I've done it multiple times. Think about it. You've done it, Mumo, haven't you? You've got a funded account, haven't you? How did you get that funded account? You 100% compounded the account. Yeah. I'm not disputing it works. It doesn't work. I've compounded accounts many times last year. I did every time you take a proper valuation. The only way to pass a valuation is to compound the account by 100%. Yeah. You got a 100K account. You got 5,000 drawdown. 10K overall drawdown. Yeah. What are you actually trading? 10K account. What are they asking you to bring back? 8%. Yeah. Every time you pass an evaluation, you are making 80% return on the available funds. I compounded, I don't know how many accounts, how many evaluations I passed last year, but lots and lots and lots. I'm not disputing the concept. I can do the concept. I'm doing it here. The problem is margin. So I'm reducing the risk to do it over a longer period of time. But think about it, yeah. When you get a 100K account with a prop firm, you have 10% drawdown allowance. So you are trading a $10,000 account, not 100, because you've only got 10 to play with. If they said you got 100% drawdown allowance, you're trading a 100K account. You're not. You've got to. All your risk has got to be based on 10K. All your drawdown is based on half of that 10K. Yeah. So to produce a pass on an evaluation, if it's a one-stage evaluation with an 8% target, you need to return 80% profit on the available funds. Compounding, you're doubling the account. That's how you pass. And every time you get a funded account, they ask you to do the same. This is why everybody fails, because you're not trading 100K, you're trading 10 or less, depending on who the person is. And depending on your strategy, the 5%, you've only got $5,000 to play with, haven't you, a day? So without knowing it, if you're doing any kind of prop activity, you are regularly doubling your account. You're just not knowing it because you think you're trading 10 times the size you are. Smoke and mirrors. Afternoon, Alan. When you get a margin call, do you get closed out on all positions? Yeah. So yeah, just they don't know if you can read it, but it says stop out. Look, all these trades just say stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out, stop out. So that is basically a margin call. Doesn't matter whether it's a long, a short, it's in profit, it's in debt, it's in loss, whatever. As soon as you get to that 80% magic number, on my broker that is, they just shut everything that's open, the lot. Doesn't matter whether you're in profit, loss, whatever. They just shut everything. Some brokers will do a what they call a marginal stop out, which is where they will take your biggest loss, close it, then they will close the next one until it gets you back over the margin. So they won't close all your positions. They will close usually the most drawdown positions. This particular broker, Forex, they shut everything. But this is what I'm doing. It's high risk. Yeah, I'm going 10% risk per entry. It's just that it happened to take an absolute shed load of trades because obviously we had RSI extensions lit up like a Christmas tree, didn't we? And we have had for the last 2 days. Look, RSI dashboard's been lit up like a Christmas tree. The ADR dashboard yesterday was lit up like a Christmas tree. 200% ADRs. It just took so many trades. Unbelievable amount of trades. But is it that you have so much confidence in the new EA to even consider 10% trade? It's not nothing to do with the EA, Mumo. You're getting really confused. I'm not. This is nothing to do with this EA. I'm just using this EA to take trades. You could do this with the market reverse alerts EA. I'm literally just going RSI extended. Yeah, get in. Risk 10%. Just make me 5% on the account. Yeah, I'm just literally looking for super high risk, super high reward. The idea of compounding your account is to do it like that. I can turn $1,000 into $2,000 this afternoon, and I've done it. I turned 10K into 26K last year on E8 because I passed an evaluation stage 1 in the morning, stage 2 in the afternoon, funded the next day. I had to do 16% return. So I turned that 10K into 26 in a day by risking high amounts. It's easy to do, but the market conditions have got to be right. This EA is not. This is not a compounding EA. This is the new position trading EA. This is not designed for what I'm doing. I'm just using it because I'm testing it. That's all. You can use the market reverse alerts EA to do what I want, what I'm doing. It's just literally RSI extensions on the 15-minute chart, and I'm taking 1-minute reversals. That's it. It's a game. It's fun. I've just stuck $1,000 in here to prove it can be done. And I've also stuck $1,000 in here to prove you that this account will blow. And that's the video I'm going to make. Yeah. Hey, look, everybody, I put 1,000 in here. I turned it into 2,000. I draw that 1,000 out. And look what happened. I blew the account within a week. Welcome to prop. That's the video I'm looking to make, basically. So I thought I'd do it because everybody asks me, how do you get money for trading? If you haven't got money for trading, you can't. The only way you can do it is to gamble something up to do it. You've got to gamble until you get enough money in the account. The problem is when you gamble, and I turn this 1,000 into 2,000, I've convinced myself I can turn 1,000 into 2,000. So what am I going to do? Continuously try and turn 1,000 into 2,000. I'm going to keep blowing accounts. Then I'm going to go back and find the next holy grail, and it sends me on this cycle of looking for this strategy that can do this. You can't. It doesn't work. It works short term, as does betting on a horse, betting on blackjack, betting on a roulette table. It all works short term, but you will never make it work consistency long term. So this is just a bit of fun. So don't get too engrossed in it. Which is why I couldn't give a monkeys about these margin calls. You know, this is either going to produce 30 or 40% profit, or it's going to get margin called again. This is what this is doing. It's shit or bust. It will either make it or it won't. Can you explain the new EA a little bit more? I've been out of the loop. I will do. Yeah. Is there an MA filter on the new EA? Nope. Because I've said it in AZ. You ask this question every day. No. I'm building this product for me. This is my EA. It's doing what I want it to do. If you don't like it, go and make it yourself in the nicest possible way. Like I said, this is a position trading EA. It trades my strategies, RSI extensions, ADR extensions, and manual entries. Yeah. Does what I want it to do in the way that I want it to do it, which is position trading, exactly as the Bootcamp. So this replicates the Bootcamp, and it's getting rid of all the crap that's in the market reversal alerts EA. So it's not going to use moving average filters because they're useless. As you've just shown me, you've sent me a strategy this morning, and I've just proved to you that it blows your account, or it goes into 25% drawdown on a single instrument. It doesn't work. So I'm not going to put that in there. But basically all it is a position trading EA. It just trades RSI extensions and ADR extensions. It's just super simplified. Yeah. So 90% of my day is taken up explaining to people what the market reversal alert EA does, why it doesn't work, them getting confused about 1,000 inputs it's got. So what I've built is something which is basically, all it does is it says at the top, what do you want to do? Do you want to trade ADR reversals, or do you want to trade RSIs? Do you want to trade in one direction or both directions? What do you want to do? Do you want to risk a percentage, or do you want to risk a fixed lot size? That's it. Answer those 5 questions, press start. Yeah. And it will just trade, and it will do everything that it should do. So then there is no questions. What do you want to do? ADR or RSI? Super simple. Which is what I do in here every day, isn't it? So auto DD is a lifesaver. No, I'm not going to include it because I think it's the worst thing since sliced bread. Why would you want to give away 1/3 of your position just because you took 3 trades? Again, that was something I introduced on there because people wanted it. I've proven it's less effective. Yeah, do it yourself. DIY. But what you can, I mean, this is the thing, Mumo, like I said, with this product, if you're using the market reversal alerts, yeah, you don't need this. Yeah. This thing that I'm building, you don't need it. Yeah, you've got the product, you've got the market reversal alerts, yeah, it does everything. This is a simplified version of what you've got. You are using the Ferrari. I'm giving you a Mini. You can have a Mini if you want, but if you've got a Ferrari, why do you want a Mini? Yeah, what you've got does everything. You don't need this. This is an additional option for people that haven't got the market reversal alert CA, basically. Yep, you can use it any EA on any market. It doesn't include market reversal entries. No, it's not the market reversal alerts EA. It's the position trading EA. Market reversal alerts don't exist. Has nothing to do with market reversal alerts. Don't need those. I live in the USA. Leverage is max 1 to 50 compared to 1 to 250. You basically can't trade with 1 to 50, Al. Not position. You can't position trade with 1 to 50. There's not enough leverage. You'll get margin called and you'll get shut out. You won't be able to get the trades on, basically. If you get into 3 or 4 positions, you won't be able to add to the positions because you won't have any margin left to take any more trades. Therefore, the trades will just go into drawdown and you'll get margin called. So you have to have higher leverage. Won't work, unfortunately. Am I doing manual take profits on ADR account? Yeah. I don't have a setting for manual. I don't. My targeting is on propulsion. So I target propulsion gaps. I don't target. There's no setting. Yeah, price is going to get to here or here. There's no setting for targeting. Apex is doing their 1 day and pass evaluations again. Cool. I divide the 8% win needed into 30 days of trading. Low risks, low stress. Yeah. Exactly, yeah. That's what you should be doing. That's, you know, I say 0.5% a day is 10% a month. You can't make 0.5% a day. There's something wrong. It's quite easy to make 0.5% a day, isn't it? You won't get a Lamborghini doing that, but you will be a lot stress-free and, you know, consistent. That's what people want, isn't it? Consistent, not Lamborghini. This US dollar Swiss drop soon. My average 87.55. Yeah, I'm 87.96 on the US dollar Swiss. If the yen rallies, we will probably find we get some strength on the Swiss franc come in with that as well. So because basically when people see their yen positions getting slaughtered, they will pull out of those and it will quite often run into the Swissy. So and sometimes it runs into the US as well. So if we get that yen push, then that will probably power up the Swiss franc as well. But we'll see. At the moment, as you can see, the market has paused the rally, but we still haven't really started dropping yet. So they may well try and push it, knowing the US, you know, they like to press buttons. So we will see what happens. Easy, you're poking the bear. Please don't poke the bear. No, please don't poke me. I'm not a bear. I do get easy. You do ask the same question constantly in here. I have noticed this. Either I'm going senile or you are. It's probably me, to be honest. Can I trade in my old MRAEA for the new simplified one? No. You don't need to. I know what's going on. It's Valentine's Day in the States. I'm shutting the charts. It's Valentine's Day here as well, Brian. Morning, Gable. Right, let me do some analysis because we haven't done anything yet. We've been waffling. So Dow is out the lows. Got to look at this thing. It's just impossible, isn't it? You can't trade this market. Dead today again. Dead. I don't know many people, to be honest, that are making money on the indices at the moment. I mean, I only follow 2 people that trade indices. One of them is a friend, and the other one is Tom Hugard. Tom's getting slaughtered. So it's always the only reason I follow people is to make sure it's not just me. So yeah, everybody is getting slaughtered on this thing at the moment. Look at it; it's an utter schizophrenic wreck. What the hell can you do without price action? Look at it. a mess. Total mess. Whacking great wicks. No direction. A mess. Pound, Bailey is speaking. Services inflation is not compatible with 2% inflation. What that means. This week's data does not really change our view of the February policy decision. Overall inflation data leaves us broadly where we expect to be. Okay. It is frankly in the balance whether we have a technical recession. So we're waiting to see the recession numbers are coming out tomorrow, the GDP figures. Just watch this pound US dollar so we can see what is going on with the pound. Am I connected? Yep, it is ticking. It's just not moving. Okay, so nothing particularly groundbreaking coming out as yet. We'll watch that as we go, basically, but hasn't said anything important yet. So RSIs today, there aren't any. On the hourly, the only RSI we had extended this morning, I think, was the US dollar Swiss. So that pushed up this morning and got an hourly RSI extension. But we've come back out again. We are sideways at the moment. No movement whatsoever. Not bullish, not bearish, not nothing. So that's going nowhere at the moment. On the 4 hour, we are still massively extended on this. So we've had this lovely big long rally, and then we had the news hit, and we're still up there. So this whole move here has had no profit take whatsoever. So looking for a drop back down again. So not really doing a lot at the moment, but also we haven't had any pullback. So I would imagine we'll probably come at least and test this area here, which is enough to get me into profit. But we've got all this propulsion move down here. But we're waiting to see, we've still got no news on the US dollar. The latest figures for the US dollar that have come out have been bullish, meaning, this is not coming down quite as fast as they wanted to, although it is still coming down. So some people are saying it's going to push the US rate drop back, which is obviously going to be bullish US for longer term. So we will see what happens. But at the moment, after the news of after the CPI, we haven't had any reaction so far in either direction. So difficult to tell. So US dollar yen still extended on the 4 hour. This is still stuck up there, not going anywhere. I'm getting aggressive on this now because this thing needs a decent pullback. And obviously with what we've heard from Suzuki overnight, if they do push this up one more time, it's going to come down pretty hard, isn't it? So that's nicely extended to the upside. We've got a couple of other extensions to the 4 hour, New Zealand dollar Swiss, which is just starting to roll over. Euro US dollar, which is down at the lows. Looking for a push back up on that one. All we got off that leg there was a flag break. So we may well get another leg down. But again, all dependent on that US dollar. Euro Swiss is extended. All these are Swiss franc related. The Swiss franc has been absolutely run over. So Euro Swiss extended to the upside. CAD Swiss extended to the upside. Got position on that first entry yesterday. So I'm just targeting all the way down here at the moment in case we get that yen strength and hopefully get some Swiss franc strength. So that was an H1 extension yesterday. So we've not gone anywhere yet. And Aussie dollar Swiss, again, another Swiss franc. Yeah, so we did have a pullback on that initial leg, but it's a flag break. And all we've had is literally just like flags. Yeah, no pullback really on the whole leg. You could class that, I guess, as that's a 38 retracement. So that's probably a shallow pullback. But this leg we've had no pullback on yet, so we'd be looking for it to come down. But unfortunately, no hourly RSI extension on this one, so I'm not in that at all. So those are your RSIs. ADRs today is Euro Pound. We're 125 ADR, already in this one from this morning. So basically this morning we pushed up on the pound news to 125. I got the reversal alert in there. So short entry there. I need to put a TP on this. I'll go for a return to origin. Highly unlikely. I think this pound is going to continue to drop. So I think we're probably going to come up to there. So I'll be taking second entry up there, and then I'll take a pullback on that leg. So that's a nice short entry. You will have already triggered on it this morning, though, if you're trading. So that was my reversal alert there. Weird reversal alert, isn't it? Oh, it's that leg there, yeah. So that high there, that's a lower high. That's a lower high. So that was the reversal alert on that candle. Look, so that is. So this was all just chop. That's where the reversal alert triggered, and then obviously it's just flown since then. So euro pound, nice looking short opportunity. About to get another reversal alert on that one. Pound odd also extended. Again, long on this. So I got out of the shorts on this one, or the short, I should say. So that was a 125 ADR extension yesterday. That was way more than 125 ADR yesterday, actually. But and then got out of the shorts, obviously, as they pulled back and retested. So now gone long, looking for a push back up into there, and hopefully that sort of price action, continuation short on the pound. But if it does continue to drop, I shall be getting a second entry, hopefully down there, and then get out when they unravel that leg. That's pound odd, and euro pound I've covered. Am I doing this in reverse order? Yeah. Pound CAD. Got out the shorts on the pound. Oh no, sorry, that was the pound odd I got out the shorts on. Got out the shorts yesterday on the pound CAD. There was 2 entries on that one. So this was an ADR hit on Friday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, ADR hit Friday. Second entry and exit. So flipped long. I need to put a target on this one. So I just look to see if we can get back up into retest that propulsion. Might make it if we get some weakness in the US dollar. And pound New Zealand is the other one. So that's nicely extended to the downside. Again, ADR hit to the upside. That was a 125 extension yesterday. Second entry taken at 175. Exit today. Flip long, looking for an exit back up in propulsion. Otherwise, if we drop down, just scale in and get out on that leg when it pushes back up. So those are your ADRs. We've got some weeklies. It is only Wednesday. So we've got the pound Swiss has already hit its weekly range. Unbelievable. So pound Swiss has hit its weekly. Obviously because of the news and the Swiss franc move. So that's hit. So that's missed. You've missed it. That was the entry yesterday. Obviously, which you'd be in. I was already in it anyway, though. So pound New Zealand has hit. So from Monday, that is your range. 307 to 81 is the weekly range. It's pulled back nicely off of that. So obviously in and out already on that one. That one's already played out. US dollar CAD and US dollar Swiss, which we know about, parabolic at the moment. So obviously yesterday pretty much did that whole range. We had 200% ADRs, which is basically the weekly range hit in a day. So it is starting to come back down again at the moment, but we will wait and see if they continue to drop this US. So I'm hoping we get a little bit of a correction on this US move, or some Swiss franc strength would be nice. But the next news we've got for the US is obviously coming out tomorrow. We've got the retail sales tomorrow afternoon. We've also got unemployment claims at the same time. And then on Friday, we've got the PPI and Michigan figures coming out. So there is plenty of news tomorrow and Friday. We just need some negative news numbers and we'll get that move completely undone. So we'll see an A-shaped recovery on that move over the next 2 days, potentially. But we're going to need some news on our side. If we get positive news out of the US again, they're probably going to rally it because the market at the moment thinks we're pushing that interest rate drop down. So that's going to be bullish for the US moving forward. So we'll see what happens on that. But yeah. Right. The state of this Dow, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes inside bar. Just unbelievable. So this looks like it's going to be a triple hedge today. This NASDAQ looks like it's about to hedge. So upside on the NAS. ADR today, which is an easy one. So that's Monday's low. That's a propulsion gap that broke the low. ADR. So that would be my upside target. Downside target is going to be the same as the rest. Yesterday's low. But I have a feeling we're going to do that today. It's going to be one of those days, I think, isn't it? By the looks of things. Market has got no directional bias. Okay, hedged on the NAS, so I'll put those targets in place. Just shy of Monday's low, which is just shy of ADR to the upside. So that's only going to be roughly 3R on the NASDAQ. Yeah, 2.5R to the upside. So not looking for much to the upside, and then hopefully we'll get a bounce at the highs there. Downside, yeah, just shy of ADR. S&P's broken, so again, S&P, I'm targeting that big round number 5,000. We should hopefully have limit orders sitting there, which will trigger just to get a bounce off of the level. And it's also approaching ADR as well. But that level there, which is the Monday low, is ADR 125. That's the propulsion gap, so it's the same as this. Yeah. So that level there is the second backup, if you like, I think, where we're probably going to bounce from. But we will see what happens. It's a real mess today. ADR on Euro Pound 150. Sounds like the pound's dropping. So Bailey 13. Bailey's probably finished talking now. So let's see what he's done. They certainly don't look happy, do they? Bit mixed bag, isn't it? But Euro Pound is rallying. This is probably Euro strength, I'd imagine. Yeah, this is Euro strength. This is nothing to do with the pound. This is just the Euro rallying. So Euro is about to give a reverse alert on the hourly. Looks like we're going to try and undo that that move. What do you think about Euro CAD? It's not really going anywhere at the minute. It's the most range-bound thing on the planet at the minute, isn't it? Contracted range, expanding a bit more. So sell it up here or here, buy it down there or there. And don't expect to get more than an ADR, because that's pretty much all it's doing. So it's just literally ADR down, ADR up, ADR down, ADR up, ADR down, ADR up. Up, down, up, down, up, down. That's it. Overall, there's no real bias between these two. So it's whoever gets the news first, really. If we get some Euro, good news out the Euro, we'll get a rally. If we get some good news out the CAD, we'll get a drop. So there's not really any indication of direction on this at the moment. The 125 ADR is the high of yesterday. We're approaching ADR today. We're also approaching the previous day's high, which is also Friday's high, Monday's high. We just broke through it yesterday, retested that high today, and we're hitting it again. So there's a kind of glass ceiling on this at the moment where they're just not able to get any traction. So it's not going anywhere. It's sideways. Pretty much you can hit the buy or the sell button at any time on this and you'll probably be okay because it's just going up and down. How about a top pick of the session? Sounds like the charts, doesn't it? Hello, pop pickers. Today's pop pick is not to trade indices because they're awful. Euro pound has got to be in it. So Euro pound approaching ADR. You're also approaching RSI extension on the hourly. And you're also approaching a lovely resistance, which was a previous support. Very strong area that we broke. And we did want to go through it again. Or slam through it, absolutely exhausted, no profit take on that leg, collapse. Short, 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 exit. That's why I would do that. Why is this euro rallying so hard? Just moving in it. Weak pound, slightly good news on a slightly bullish move on the euro. Look, with a weak pound, just means the euro pound is just getting that little extra kick. But lovely resistance right now. Right now, where we are. Smeagol voice. I need the new EA, my precious. It will come. That's a really bad Smeagol voice, isn't it? Your ADR start made me 6% in a little more than a week. Strat, you mean? Yeah, strat. Yeah. Good for you. How quickly this flips. Look, we're sitting in 10% beginning of the session. Now sitting in 4% drawdown. It's because we're in 8% on the euro pound. Look. How close are we to a margin call? Plenty of room. Plenty of room. I'm working today. Security for Chiefs Super Bowl parade. Ooh. $65 an hour? Wow. That's not a bad hourly rate, is it? As a security guard. I'd do that. The way you drag pairs across from the market watch list, does this mean you don't need loads of tabs open along the bottom of MT4? Yeah. The EA doesn't run on this terminal. This is just charts. This isn't the EA. This is just charts and indicators. On this account. On all these accounts. There's no EAs running on these three accounts. This one is the EA. This is the new EA. And this EA doesn't use magic numbers. It auto detects what's going on the pair. So it works off of pair, not magic number. So this one, every time you do anything, it automatically knows what it needs to do next. So it knows it needs to take another short there because it's this pair. If you switch to this pair, which hasn't got any trades on, find someone that has. If you switch to that pair, yeah, that's the one I just looked at, wasn't it? CAD Swiss. Switch to CAD Swiss, and it knows it needs to take a trade there on the CAD Swiss. Euro odd. It knows it needs to take a trade there on the euro odd. So it automatically detects what it needs to do. The idea being is I can look at the chart and go, oh, I think I'll add one to that. And it will automatically calculate the lot size and do everything based on what's going on with this. Obviously, not designed to add a position because it's used a lot multiplier to add this 0.18 to a 0.23 to a 0.18. The idea obviously would be that you would do that when you're in drawdown. So on something like pound odd. So that's a buy. So if it gets down, let's say, so this is a great example. Look, this is a prime example of why I'm building this. There's an obvious support coming up. Yeah, there, which is the previous day's low. Look at the next long position there. So price has to be pushed beyond that level before a new entry will be taken. If this thing now does this and it wicks down and we get a shooting star there, I'm going to say that is a limit order bounce. And I'm going to be able to just go, right, I'm not going to get the A's not going to take a trade. Buy. And you just bang. Be able to hit the button and it will take a buy. And it will automatically, as you can see, that's calculated at 0.22. The previous was 0.17 because I've put a lot multiplier on it. You don't have to use one, but so that's the whole reason behind these buttons, is so that we can do manual trading with it as well, and then it will auto recalculate everything. So it doesn't matter with the market reverse alerts EA, you can't do this. You can't switch the EA. It doesn't auto detect anything. It's just doesn't work in this way. So it's different beast. Afternoon outro. Just got back from work. What have I missed? Not a lot. Another hideous day in the indices. Triple hedge. Market basically going, I'm going to go long. No, I'm going to go short. No, I'm going to sit there for 35 minutes. No, I might go long. No, I think I'll go short. I mean, I've got my sarcastic voice on because that's basically what I think of the markets at the minute. Meh, can't be asked because they're just utterly hideous. Just horrible. Hey, Steve Jones has just joined. Hey, everybody. Steve Jones has just joined and we need to buy the US dollar yen. Hey, Steve. I won't check your link out, your bio for a link. But Steve, I don't know if you looked at the news last night, but because the US dollar yen is above 150, the Japanese are about to press a button which will drive it down by 6 to 10 ADR within the next couple of days, possibly. So good luck with your buy. Hope you don't blow your account. Bye-bye. That's what I have to deal with all the time. Scammers. Literally every day. Full of scammers. With the new EA, if you get into a manual position, will it automatically get into additional positions? Only if you press the button. So if you take a manual trade using these buttons, yes. If you take a manual trade using no buttons, no. I don't think so. I don't know, actually, to be honest. Let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. It's not going to tick now, is it? There we go. No, that doesn't work. Because if it did, it would draw a line and it would go, I now need to get in down here. Yeah, and there's no profit showing, yeah? But if I go buy here, look. Bang. Automatically puts in the next long position and it knows it's taking a trade. So you've got to use these buttons. That's why I put them there. Yeah. The only difference is, right, what I'm doing with this EA is I'm stopping you having to do that. Go up here, type stuff in, yeah, and then press one of those. What I've given you is something where you just don't have to do any of that and you can just do that. How does it keep track of magic numbers? It doesn't use magic numbers. It doesn't even know what a magic number is. There is no such thing as a magic number. It uses the instrument. Which is why you can, when you change pairs, it knows it's got trades on. and it knows where to place trades because it's going, have I got something on CAD Swiss? Yes. How much profit have I got? Oh, okay. So where do I need to put the next entry? Clever, eh? I've got cleverer. That wasn't me, by the way. No, I guessed it wasn't you, Steve. Might be you. Well, if it was you, you're certainly not listening to anything I say because you just told me to buy the US dollar yen. We should do it, shouldn't we? I should buy the US dollar yen and then I should message him and say, I've just bought the US dollar. Yeah, let's see where his target was. So apparently I'm meant to be buying the US dollar yen here as it's coming down. Take profit target is 150.97. Okay, so that's the target. 35 pips, a quarter of an ADR. Are you serious? Right, so we're buying it now. That's the first TP there. Stop loss is 149.92. Right, so there's your entry. There's your target. There's your risk. So it's a negative 2R to plus 1R strategy using a stop loss. Steve, I think you're a genius. That's brilliant. Who'd have thunk it? Yeah, risking twice as much as you can make in a strategy with less than a 50% strike rate because you're just gambling. People wonder why signal services don't work because they're pumping crap like that out. Should have checked his bio. Oh, look. Best Forex signals channel. I'm just looking at some of his signals. $97.30. So on this signals channel, basically they put the signal chance of success 83%. So yesterday they said to buy the Aussie dollar US dollar at 65.14. Right here, they said to buy it there with an 83% chance of it working. If that's their 83% chance of it working, I'd hate to see what happens when they've got a lower strike rate, wouldn't you? I used to follow them though. Everybody's followed them. We've all been down that road. Despite all the hedges, you're still making money. Yes, but very difficult at the minute. Today, I think, is going to be a loss. All I've done today is the DAX, which was $60. So if it doesn't move, it doesn't move. The closest we've got to getting out at the moment is going to be the S&P. But, I mean, we're back inside the range on both of these. Look, we haven't broken out the range. We're approaching 1.5 hours into the session. We haven't even got out the pre-market ranges yet. It's just not even... You know, we're seeing so many of these days. All that's happening really with this strategy at the moment is it's treading water. It's not making money. It's not losing, but it's not making money, which is fine. But this is what I said. I wouldn't want to try and pay the mortgage with this strategy because there's too much stagnation in it. When the market's doing this, it's just not possible to make money. You can, obviously, if you're trading one candlestick at a time and getting out one candlestick later, but that's massively risky. So, but it will work long term. We know it works long term, but you just got to wait for those runs. We're not in any bull runs. You can't, look at what the market's doing at the minute. It's just pitiful. That sort of condition, and then we're getting this, bang, you make it. This, bang, yeah. But these are hedges as well, aren't they? So what you don't actually get necessarily is the profit out of that because it hedges. So it's the clean breaks we seem to be missing at the moment. The open seems to have got very unreliable. Look at this thing. Pushed down, we've pushed up. We're coming back to where we started over an hour ago. It's just a nightmare. But that's the way it goes. How does it keep track without magic numbers? It just uses the pair, basically. Or the instrument. It's not the pair, it's the instrument. It detects the instrument. So if you were trading oil, it would detect its oil. If you were trading gold, it would detect its gold, etc., etc. So it just knows what it's done. So it's what I call a top-heavy EA in the fact that within an EA, there's 3 sections. You've got what we call an init section. You've got an on-tick section, which runs every time the market ticks up or down. And then you've got an on-close or on-trade section where it does something when the trade is opened or closed. This EA, I would say probably 70% of all the calculations and everything that it does is done when it initializes. Whereas the market reversal alerts EA gets on the chart, loads itself up, and it does everything on tick, which is why it's quite slow in the backtester, because it's doing a lot of calculations here rather than when it opens. So if you see, when I switch this over, if you watch the little white box, you see sometimes it takes a while to load. Not that time. Not that time either. That one, look. See, that was just doing a load of calculations, and then it has to wait for the market to tick before it goes, right, now I'm going to do this. So it does everything it needs to do before it loads onto the chart. So if you've got one of those brokers with a really latent delay, you'll find this will be very slow. Not very slow, but I mean, it won't be as quick as this. Yeah, so there's a slight delay there. But it basically analyzes your P&L and says, have I got one of these on? If I have got one of these on, did I take it? If I took it, I need to calculate why I took it. And I need to work out where I'm going to take the next one. And it does all of that stuff. And then it suddenly, every time it ticks, it just goes and it draws it and gets ready to do the next thing for you. So it's just a lot more sophisticated, basically, and faster, a hell of a lot faster, which is what I want. You can actively backtest this over a long period of time. Very, very, very quickly. Yeah, this is working on tick. Yeah, I mean, speed-wise, it's like a freight train compared to the market reversal alert CA. Massive, massive, massive difference. I'm not going to replace the market reversal alert CA, though. I'm still going to use that. Although I will be running another account with this. First of all, to do a comparison with the MRA. Is the minus 10% a floating loss from yesterday or banked? What this? This is the margin call. I got margin called on this account 3 times. You're a bit late to the party, but I got margin called this morning. I got margin called yesterday afternoon, and I got margin called yesterday morning. So I've made about pretty much 45% profit I've seen this yesterday was banked at 15%. This morning that was at 19%. Yeah, so just banked there was over 30%. But every time I get margin called, it wipes the lot out. I went down to -6 or 7 on this afternoon, and then I took a load more trades because I'm using too high risk. I got a bit over cocky, so triple margin call. But as you can see, it's 7% down at the moment, which is nothing. I'll get that back. I've got 8% sitting there, not 9, 10% sitting in an open P&L, so I can. Not a problem. But yeah, this is a fun account though. It's here for entertainment purposes. I love that about the EA. I want to be able to click a button when I see pairs at good extensions and support resistance areas and for it to automatically get into the trades. Yeah. It will be good. Not me, I'm in a sell on the US dollar yen. Yep, me too. There ain't no way I'm going long on US dollar yen. Just want it to do something. It's doing my head in today. It did my head in yesterday because it did that, and it's doing my head in today because it's doing that. What I want it to do is make me happy, but it's not playing ball at the moment, is it? Is the Trade Manager Dash part of the new EA? No, it's nothing to do with it. Trade Manager Dash is just the Trade Manager Dash. This all this does is read your P&L. So all this is doing is taking information from here, dumping it on there in a format that you can understand. That's all it does. It's not linked to an EA. This is just your P&L, open and close P&L in a format that actually makes logical sense, which you would have expected a software provider that does trading platforms to just do as standard. In the same way as you would expect them to provide buy and sell buttons, pending order buttons, close buttons, all those buttons. But they don't, do they? No platforms do they, really, as standard. Everything's an add-on. Apart from futures platforms, they do it. NVIDIA now worth more than Google? Is it really? Wow. That's amazing. But I suppose if you think about it, it's the same as Microsoft, isn't it? Pretty much every PC in the world has got NVIDIA in it. Your phones have all got NVIDIA chipsets. Not all of them, but they're everywhere, aren't they? As well as the Monkey Ballers prop, we should start the 8-ball signal service. That's not a bad idea. That's a good name. Pound Swiss puking, is it? Excellent. So this is weakness in the pound. My coffee's gone cold. Nothing worse than drinking an iced coffee when it's not meant to be an iced coffee. Swiss franc, this is powering up. Look. Why has that just closed out a CAD Swiss? Why is that? What the hell's happened there? I'll tell you what has happened there. Look. You see, that's just shut that CAD Swiss look. At TP. That's me. I'm having one of those days at the moment, aren't I, today? That's me, basically. At some point, I've accidentally clicked on the order when I've been dragging something, and I've just basically clicked and dragged it like that, and I've put a TP on and I didn't even see it. So I'm out of the CAD Swiss. Short. There we go. How's that? Look at that. Straight in, straight out. Next day. Perfect. Look at that. Whoops. US dollar Swiss starting to come down. So we've got some Swiss franc strength coming in, which is nice. So that CAD Swiss hopefully will get down to target. Looking for a return to origin move. That one. Where'd you find the ADR extensions at? What, the indicator? It's on the website. Back to the start. Look, this thing's dead as a door now. We're pretty much an hour and a half into the session. We haven't gone anywhere, so it's a rotation day. So I think it's a case of just waiting until after lunch and see if we can get some movement. But basically, the market's just in rotation at the minute, so we're waiting for a buyer or seller to step in and decide that we want to make a speculative move today. But at the moment, the market's just not interested in going anywhere. So we'll either get an afternoon move up or down to target. I'm leaving stuff just at ADRs today. We either need an ADR move or we don't. There's no levels anywhere else that you can say, like in here, there's just no levels that you can say, right, that looks like a good point to get out. So for me, it's just a case of hope that we get a rally on something, either up or down. Other than that, it's a dead duck today. Dead duck. Kettle alert just triggered. Good. That's about the best thing you're going to get, the kettle alert today. So there's plenty of opportunities across the board on RSIs and ADRs today, for the 4 hours anyway. But yesterday was the day of getting into everything. So 175 on the euro pound now. Look, huge move, euro pound. There we go, just banked one. Woohoo! EA works. There we go. CAD Swiss. Oot. 5%. Very nice. So go. There's yesterday's loss back, pretty much. Yeah, loads of opportunities for ADRs on the pound pairs at the moment, but I'd be a little cautious about trying to mean revert these pound moves. I am in this one. I'm on pound odd and a couple of other pounds, but don't get too greedy with them, because that CPI number today, if we get the negative GDP figure tomorrow, I don't hold up much hope for the pound. So we will get a big drop on the pound. It will bounce back, but I would be very careful trying to mean revert a lot of these pounds today. Saying that I've got pound New Zealand and pound odd long, but there are valid RSI extensions, so should have got out of that really. I am really bodging this strategy together. This is why this strategy is struggling, because I'm bodging it together. There should really be a break even on it when you get to sort of 1% or 2% in profit. Should be really break evening these, shouldn't we? Just to protect them from going into drawdown on things like that. But that euro pound, you know, we only need like 15 minutes down and we're out. So my ADR is drawdown on the New Zealand dollar Swiss. I'm looking at that account for. New Zealand dollar Swiss. There hasn't been an ADR entry on this. Well, it depends if you're taking 100% of ADR. So there, that's just about, isn't it? ADR. Can't really measure that. No. That was the only ADR entry we've had recently there, which was straight in and out. You didn't get out that day. You did get out yesterday. But there is no ADR entry on New Zealand dollar Swiss. So the only entry we've had on the ADR is there. That move there. So ADR is 40. That was 66. That's 150 ADR. So if you got into that, you're out. You should have been out. Shouldn't still be in it. If you are in it, just scale in as usual. You've got monthly support coming up. sorry, resistance. You've got a little resistance area there as well, 125 ADR today. But there isn't a trade on that at the minute. Damn, should have held that short, Brian. NASDAQ. This Dow is just coming down to retest the lows again. Look. Horrible. Horrible, horrible. I'm glad I'm taking 2 days off. So I'm not here tomorrow. Not here Friday. I shall not be having this running while I'm away. So I'm back on Monday, basically, for Frankfurt and New York. So I'm just taking 2 days off to do stuff because it's half term. So, yeah, hopefully Monday the indices wake up. You watch. Tomorrow and Friday, there'll be clean breaks on everything. All straight up to 5R within 10 minutes. And I'll be gutted. Anyway. No ADR entry on New Zealand dollar Swift. New Zealand dollar Swift for me, even though there's no ADRs yet. Not New Zealand dollar Swift. It's nowhere near 34 today. So if you've got an ADR hit on that, it's there's something wrong with your ADR. You maybe haven't got 10 days or something loaded. Don't know. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'll be back on Monday at same time, 7:50 for Frankfurt and 2:20 for the New York. We'll see how everything's going. Bear in mind, news this week, you need to be watching your Aussie positions today. So anything you've got in profit on the Australian dollar, you've got Bullock speaking, and then overnight we've got unemployment. So we're going to get lots of volatility on the Australian dollar overnight, potentially. 7 a.m. before the market opens tomorrow, we've got the GDP figure. If that comes out as a negative, you can kiss the pound goodbye. If it comes out as a positive, we may well undo the CPI today, but I doubt it. That's much, much, much more important than GDP. GDP is a byproduct of inflation and interest rate change. So that is the key number. And Bailey hasn't said anything today at all that's helped us or hurt us. So if that comes out negative tomorrow, we'll get a big drop. You've got Lagarde speaking tomorrow morning at market open. Again, be careful. The Frankfurt market opens at 8 o'clock. DAX opens at 8 o'clock. FTSE opens at 8 o'clock. Lagarde could stick a foot in it at 8 o'clock. You could have all sorts of stuff happening on the euro tomorrow. If the euro pumps or dumps, the indexes will go the opposite direction. We've got retail and unemployment for the US tomorrow afternoon ahead of market open. And then nothing much else. Retail for the pound, again, retail is forecast to be up on previous. So January, this is January's figure, yeah? So retail was down at Christmas. They're expecting January to have been good. So if nobody bothered spending any money in January, that's going to come out negative. If that comes out negative, kiss the pound goodbye. So there's lots of stuff that potentially could drop that pound this week. So just I mean, be careful trying along that. Be out quickish. And then we got PPI on Friday. So I'm not here for any of this. So just make sure you're aware of the news. And obviously now, God, Bailey's still speaking. 3:49. He can't be speaking. That must be something they missed from the previous speech, I guess. Obviously, just bear in mind with the yens at the moment, we are teetering on the edge. So two things are going to happen with the Japanese yen, and it's all going to be based around the US dollar yen. And this is over the next 2 days. We need to watch this. So this US dollar yen is either going to rally for the all-time high at 152. If it does, that's only an ADR away, yeah? So look at where we are now. That's 125 ADR from the low. So it's about an ADR away from exactly where we are right now. If the market runs for that level on news or anything, the Japanese are going to be very cross. So they will be shooting across the bow, or they may just press the button. Whichever they do, the market, I suspect, will get a shock and will drop. So the last time they told us to stop being stupid, was there. Yeah, so this is where they threatened intervention previously, and that's what happened after they threatened. Didn't do it, they just threatened it. Yeah, they threatened it yesterday. So there's a good chance that we won't make a new high, and we're just going to pull back on that leg. However, if we get positive US news, the market will rally the US, and there will be no other option for this to go up. If that goes up, then that is when they will kick that button. So this could happen in the next 2 days. If we get negative news on the US, it's not a problem. If the US dollar suddenly just starts to drop anyway, they won't need to intervene, and they'll be more than happy. So you won't get the intervention move. But if they do the intervention move, that is the sort of thing that you will be experiencing. Yeah, that's a tiny one, but that's kind of the smallest intervention we've seen, which is about 300% of ADR, literally within an hour. You'll suddenly go, what the hell happened there? You'll look away, find out what's happened. By the time you come back, that 5-minute candle will be down there. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're long, you're not going to get your stop honored where you wanted it. It's going to be honored down there. You're going to lose 3 times as much as you wanted. If you put your TP there, they won't honor your TP either. You'll get slipped and you'll make even more money, because that move will happen so fast, the market will not be able to keep up. There will not be enough liquidity when they dump billions of yen into the market in one go. So just be aware of that. So I've got an aggressive DD control on this at the moment. It's going to stop out if it breaks today's high. If it breaks today's high, I do not care. I will just stop out on it. I will get that second aggressive drawdown control position on if and when that move happens. So if that aggressive fails, I will just let it ride up to 152. If I see it, and I will be checking the charts every morning and every evening tomorrow and Friday, I will probably try an aggressive from up there if it gets there. But let's hope the market pays attention and just does what it's told and doesn't rally it anymore. Yeah, so we just want them to, well, the Japanese just want them not to basically devalue the yen. So all they've got to do is get out of their short exposure on the yen, and everybody's happy. So let's see if the bankers listen. If not, Japan presses the nuke. Bailey's getting all out now. What? Bailey's getting all out now so he can get back to rehearsals with the band. Bailey. Waller's speaking now, look. Yeah, so that's that. I think that is a hangover, that Bailey comment. He's finished. He finished ages ago. All right. So yes, 2 days off. Oh God, NASDAQ. Okay, so we are starting to rally down. Is that US dollar powering up then? No, it's not. This is just the indices. Look, the US dollar is really not doing a lot at all. So this is just the indices at the minute. We are now starting a move. We're not just starting a move. We are really accelerating. Look, this is gapped. So there's a lot of volume just come in and no liquidity. So this has got the potential to drop quite hard if it wants to. So we may well get this ADR today. We'll see if this continues. This is 1.5 hours in now, so that will be your high of session. So hopefully we'll just start down legs and come and retest yesterday's low across the board. If we retest yesterday's low, that's where I'm looking for the bounce play. Get out of the hedges. I will monitor this. Okay, so I'll be back Monday. Anything you need, let me know. I will be in Telegram on and off, but we'll see how we get on. There's lots of news coming out. So, you know, we got some drawdown to get out of, so I will be monitoring it. Anything exciting happens, I'll post it in Telegram. But other than that, have a good couple of days, and I will be back Monday. So I'll see you guys then. Have a good one.